Is why are but Matt, my problem with this is why are we so worried about getting rid of all of the Mexicans or Hispanics that are quote unquote here, if they're illegal or not? At the end of the day, many of them are paying taxes. Many of them have been here for generations and decades. And Matt, trying to get rid of 4 or 5 or 3 million people all at once is not going to work. We don't have the resources.
We don't have to do it all at once.
And secondly, Matt, listen, there is no such thing as an illegal Mexican immigrant coming into Texas because they're only coming home. Texas, Arizona, and California were stole from the Mexicans.
Don't start
this
that
all
nonsense.
belongs to them. So they're only coming home. And here it is, you white folks stole the land from the Indians, but yet you're the natural, real illegal immigrant.
So let's start with the things you said that are already wrong. First of all, they're coming here. They're not paying any taxes. You're telling me they're paying taxes? They're not paying taxes because nobody knows who the heck they are. No, they're not paying any taxes.
Matt, when they buy a product, they pay a tax on it.
Let's continue.
When they buy a car, they pay a tax on it.
You come into this country illegally. That is a law that you're breaking. And that's why they have to be sent back to wherever they came from. They want to come through the front door. That is the correct way to come in. And the city of Houston has to stop allowing this, or we're never going to get them to stop coming in here. Look, that's what we got to do. Follow the law.
But Matt, where is the compassion that the indigenous Indians had for white people in this country?
Why do you keep going backwards?
They let you all come in.
What are you going backwards?
And you came in and raised a whole lot of hell.
Don't start.
Trump
start
called
bringing up
Mexicans
history
rapists.
and try and explain what's going on today.
Trump called the Mexicans illegal criminals coming into America. One of the biggest illegal criminals ever come into America was white people.
So you don't give a damn if people break into this country.
I don't give a damn.
I wonder what's going to happen when they come to rob your house.
I don't give a damn about hypocrites who came here illegally and stole all of this and now want to blame them for only coming back home. To all of the Mexicans, don't worry about this. Just keep having babies, and in 30 years, all these white folks will be under your control.
To Americans, let's stand up and do what the hell we're supposed to do and stop letting the city of Houston be an open door. This ain't no sanctuary city.
Don't listen to that.
This is a real city.
Just keep having babies, and at the end of the day.
All right, Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. But you saw that's a true Edomite. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about the past. They don't want to talk about it because they devils. You know what I'm saying? I put this phrase in, does the past affect the present? Just so I can show you. Check this out. It said, yes, past experiences can have a significant impact on the present. Past events can shape our identity, influence our decisions, and affect our emotions. But, you get the point, where's the compassion at, you know what I'm saying, for the tribes of Israel? But, the so-called Mexicans, so-called black, the so-called white man lacks empathy because they're the devil, devilish. It's all about them controlling the narrative, them being their way or the highway. Let's go here. Let me show you something. And these devils are hypocrites. Okay, this word, hypocrite, I think this is a Greek word. So like you're kind of dealing with some allergies. Right here at the top, hypocrite. The meaning of hypocrite is a person who puts on a false appearance of virtue or religion. Read this again. It says the meaning of hypocrite is a person who puts on a false appearance of virtue, acting like they pious, acting like they did everything the right way, which they raped, robbed, stole, pushed their version of Christianity on you by the sword, and they have lied, pillaged, raped, robbed, everything you can do that's evil, but they don't think they're going to have to pay for this, right? Because they descendants will say, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. That's their favorite little thing they like to say. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But you accessory to a crime. And thus said like Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, you have to pay, because a lot of you people don't understand reincarnation. You coming back in your lot, and judgment will proceed. So the so-called white man act like he got everything on the up and up, like he was honest, and his descendants carry on with that same spirit. Check this out, pious. So this is how the Edomites, the typical Edomite, comes off as being pious. It says pious. It says because they got similar words right here. Let's go to the similar words. It says devout. It says God fearing. A lot of the Edomites say they believe in so-called God. What God is they talking about? Right here. I'm gonna show you. And they'll claim to be a Christian. You know, the whole the whole thing that they do, right? Church going, godly. Let's go down a little bit farther. Pious. At the top, it says the meaning of pious is marked by or showing reverence for a deity and devotion to divine worship. So they come off as so-called God-fearing people. They're not. They're devils. They got agendas, right? Hypocrites, and they refuse to acknowledge the crimes and atrocities that was done to the tribes, so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. They say that's a thing of the past. But when we go here, right here at the top, it says the past has undeniable influence on our present lives, shaping our thoughts. Because when most people think about the Messiah, this what visual comes up in their mind. Let me show you right here. And I'm going to keep going into this much as I can. This the visual comes up in people's mind. So everything matters. You know what I'm saying? It says shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions in profound ways. So the past affects the present. So all the things that was done, the stealing of land, all this land, these acres and acres and acres. I think it's like 100 million acres, something like that, some crazy amount that's been passed on generationally, right? That's why they got the best, stay in the best homes. They got the best jobs. They got the best cars. They got the best insurance. They got the best of the best of what you eat. You know what I'm saying? So let's go here because this devil lacks accountability and empathy. And that's why people have picked on that characteristic of the lack of accountability, especially on women. Obadiah 1 and 10, and this is addressing Edomites, so-called white people. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. So in this video, the Edomite was trying to get away from all that. He was shameful of those things that his ancestors did, which he is his ancestors back reincarnated. So he displayed shame, a lack of accountability, empathy, a lack of empathy. All right, shall cover thee, and thou should be cut off forever. So because of this pride, this lack of empathy, right, from them being wired a certain way, let's go to this word shame. It got to be judgment. That's the only way to make things right. They're gonna get double to what they've done to us. It says shame, and that's why they made you seem like the Bible is all about love, 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 so they can keep you distracted, to keep you deflected, to keep you disoriented, so they can control the narrative on the Bible. But the Bible is all about vengeance and get back at your enemies. That's what you don't know. Shame, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. So all these things that they've done, that's why they don't want to talk about it. And they actually create terms to deflect as critical race theory. Like all this stuff that we've been through is a theory. It's not really real. It's a theory. All these things are going away. They act like none of this stuff happened. Forget about it. You know, it's all equal now. Let bygones be bygones, right? That's their MO. But they still control all the money, all the wealth, control all the resources, but they want you to forget about everything. It don't work that way. Right? So let's go here. But that was that's, you saw the devil in the flesh. Habakkuk 2 and 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, shall be turned unto thee. In shameful spewing like what we doing shall be on thy glory. So there are these Edomites who say, God bless America, God establish America, all these things that they say, but they praying to so-called white Jesus, right? And that's a form of not having the truth. That's a form of them. What's that? Psalms 55, I think in 10. That's them casting the words of the Bible behind them because they'll swear in on the Bible, but they won't follow really nothing in it, right? Let's go right here. Lack of accountability. So this country was built on bloodshed, rape, robbery, land stealing, changing people's identity, forcing them to be Christians and get into Christianity, making them slaves, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth, subjugating them to your ideologies and philosophies. That's what our people are under to this very day. And our people have something called Stockholm syndrome. It says lack of accountability is when someone doesn't take responsibility for their actions or mistakes. But what they'll say is it wasn't them, but you can't use that. Crimes was committed, so you're accessory to a crime. Like say if somebody was um riding in the car, right, and they got pulled over by the police and they found some drugs in a car, and no one claims that they're gonna charge everybody, right? If I'm not mistaken, because it's accessory, because you still, like I think they would charge the driver. If the driver doesn't fess up to it, they're gonna charge everybody. You're accessory to a crime. But the lack of accountability and lack of empathy is just off the chain right here. I put in why is Stockholm syndrome so harmful? So this is what our people are suffering from due to their mental illness, you know what I'm saying? For all the psychological and mental and physical abuse of the so-called white man. It says Stockholm syndrome is considered harmful because it can lead victims to develop positive feelings towards their abusers or captors, often causing them to sympathize with their actions. And that's what our people do. Defend them. So our people defend the so-called white people, Edomites, and even resist efforts to escape or seek help. It says essentially creating a dangerous emotional bond with the person who is harming them, making it difficult to leave abusive situations. That's the MO of our people, right? Because they still see that so-called white Jesus in their mind. They still see the so-called white man as the supreme person that's over them. That's why when we come with these lessons, these epistles, letters, digital letters, people scoff at it. They don't believe it because they're still under the influence of the so-called white man, Edomites, as being supreme with knowledge. Yet what they don't know, the Most High endowed that gift to the men that's pushing this word, is truth. This is the highest form of education that you can get in this physical body because it trickles to the spirit, right? Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak, Kodash. Shalom.